Hello, Alan Dawkins, Dawkins Financial. What do fantasy football and investing have to do with each other? It seems like a weird mix. So let me give you a quick background on my experience with fantasy football. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge soccer fan. However, fantasy football is a lot of fun. I joined in the first league and I did pretty well, partly because I didn't overthink it. But what did fantasy football force me to do? It forced me to do a little bit more research. I started watching more games. I found myself up at midnight on a Monday night screaming at the TV for a kicker to make a long kick. So all these things were a factor of, because I was participating, I was learning more. So how does that relate to your self-guided investments? Maybe you have an app on your phone and you have a couple $100, maybe $1,000 that you've put in there, air quote, play money. Well, a lot of times clients will say, should they move those funds over to me? Sometimes I think it's best for the client to have that account. Why? Well, they get to experience what it's like to track a stock or a fund. They may look at the fund and maybe it's going up. Well, then they look into that fund a little bit more and find out a couple companies that are in there. Maybe 3 or 4 out of the several hundred companies in that fund. Maybe when they're walking by the TV and they see the ticker tape going across, they are a little bit more interested. Maybe they have more questions when working with an advisor. So definitely the bulk of your assets will most likely be with your employer or with an advisor or a combination of the two. But I'd absolutely like for you to be involved with some that you have your own skin in the game, that you're kind of making some of those decisions. And it will be a great learning process, similar to fantasy football, where I've learned a lot more about way more players than I care to admit. Same thing will happen over time with your investment account. So you don't have to become an expert. You don't have to subscribe to Wall Street Journal, but it will make you a better investor and ultimately a better client for an advisor. So go for the fantasy football, also go for the self-directed accounts as well, and leave the large assets to some fundamental planning, hopefully with an advisor. Thank you. Have a great day.